Hey, welcome back to Astronaut Gaming. Thanks for joining. So today we're going over the Mew VMAX deck that I used to win my local tournament this past week. It's been a lot of fun. I love this deck so much. You get to draw as many cards as you want. You get to do a ton of damage and take out all the key threats that your opponent is bringing forward. So I'm sure that you all are familiar with the Mew deck at this point, so we will just skim through the list here. Nothing too special, but I do have a couple cards that I want to point out. So first off, we're starting with a 4-3 Mew VMAX, 4 copies of Genesect V, and 1 copy of Oricorio. Oricorio definitely relevant to help reduce damage by 20 in some key matchups, like against Mews, it prevents an easy knockout on the VMAX, as well as against Lugia, it forces them to have 4 powerful colorless energy on their Lugia V-Star, plus a Choice Belt in order to take a knockout on your Mew VMAX. So in terms of our supporter line, we are running 3 copies of Judge, 1 copy of Roxanne, 2 Boss's Orders, and 1 Cyllene. I think this is the optimal split right now. I wouldn't change it. And moving on to the stadiums, we're playing 3 copies of Path to the Peak and 2 copies of Lost City. I think having 3 copies of Path to the Peak is really helpful against the mirror match, being able to stick that path on turn 1, just having that extra copy to get you there, as well as against Lugia V-Star, because your Lugia matchup without Path to the Peak is pretty shaky. They just can do so much damage and take big one-shots with their single prize Pokemon like Yveltal. So it's definitely a tough spot without Path to the Peak. 2 Lost City, we need both of these for Regigigas, as well as to bump our own Path to the Peak or our opponents. Also playing 2 copies of Lost Vacuum to get rid of Path to the Peak or any troubling stadiums or tool cards that the opponent puts in play. Also helpful to just thin cards out of the hand. In terms of our switch cards, we're playing 2 copies of Escape Rope and 1 copy of just a normal switch. Right now, I like Switch more than Switch Cart. Switch Cart's the other card that we see. And Switch Cart, it forces you to switch your active basic Pokemon with your benched Pokemon. And if you do, you heal 30. But because it forces the active to be basic, sometimes you'll be starting with your Mew VMAX in the active spot. It forces you to retreat and then switch cart back into the VMAX and just removes a little bit of flexibility, whereas Switch is live at all times. So that's why I prefer Switch right now. I don't think the 30 damage from Switch card is making a difference too often. We are playing some interesting tool cards. So 2 copies of Forest Seal Stone for that Star Alchemy ability to search for any card. 1 copy of Choice Belt. Only 1 because a lot of decks like Lugia, like Lost Box, are using mostly single prize attackers. And so it's rare that we're going to actually need 2 Choice Belts in 1 game. And if we really, really do need it, we always have Cyllene to shuffle things back in. 1 copy of Big Parasol to stop Yveltal celebrations, as well as amazing rare Yveltal from taking big knockouts and disrupting our setup. And then we're also trying out 1 copy of Big Charm. Big Charm is really nice. It's like an extra Oricorio. It takes you out of range of getting knocked out by Regigigas. It takes you out of range of getting knocked out by Lugia V-Star, by Mew VMAX. It really is a pretty solid card on your VMAX, but it's not only good on your VMAX. If you're playing up against an Arceus deck, for example, you can attach that Big Charm to a Mew or to a Mew V and prevent the knockout since they'll be doing 180 damage with their Trinity Nova, but you have 30 extra HP. Then at that point, they usually have very few other ways to do damage except for a full boss's orders, so you can just leave that Mew damaged on the bench and attack with your other Mews and Mew VMAXs. And the last card that I'll highlight here is 1 copy of Rotom Phone. Rotom Phone is a fantastic consistency card. I would love to play more than one, and I'm thinking about different cuts here or there, maybe a Path to the Peak, maybe the Big Charm to increase the Rotom Phones. But it's the 60th card at the moment, but I really like the extra consistency it brings, allowing us to stack our top deck to draw better with Genesect or to set up against an opposing Marnie. But that's the deck. Mew is really strong, it's a lot of fun, and let's see how it does in our games. We're up against Vikavolt. So I don't think the Oricorio matters all too much, but let's get double Mew for sure. Oh, not Genesect, Mew. And let's see what's prized, because we need to get rid of as many of these as we can. Big Charm, sure, that's kind of nice. Maybe we Ultra or a VMAX. I would love to hit this Choice Belt. That's what I really want. Okay. Cool. Switch. Yeah. I guess we can get rid of that. Keep the boss. Sure. And let's go get ourselves a VMAX. We can get rid of a boss anyway, because we just need to draw cards. Maybe, yeah, let's go third Mew. Great. Parasol doesn't make a difference, so let's put that there, draw a card, and see if there's something I can get rid of with Ultra Ball. Yep, looks good to me. Let's get rid of those two, go get second VMAX. Why not, right? And we are digging for the Choice Belt, but if we don't get it, that's okay. Get the Seal Stone though. I kind of want to Seal Stone for a Choice Belt. I think that's actually worth it. Just to get it on the field means that next turn I'm KOing literally anything they have. And then we pass with the Big Charm active. Okay, so that was a good turn. We don't want to get Marnied, but if we do get Marnied, then they're not attacking this turn, so that's good for us. And the 5, 10, 200, 220. I guess it won't make a difference if they fill their bench on this Mew and get active a knockout on the Raikou, but or with the Raikou, I suppose. But if they aren't able to fill their bench, then that actually does make it. 9, 10. Yeah, because that would do 200, and Mew has 210 if they have 4 bench. So let's see. The try can choose. Zapdos. Okay, well, I guess that removes some of the yeah, I guess that removes some of the math. So if they get a 4th basic with the Zapdos, then they do get it. So it looks like they're going for the knockout active. That's okay, because we have double VMAX plus I mean, hopefully we can draw into a Judge and maybe path them. That would be pretty brutal. As long as we have an out to the path, I think we're okay. But the good news is that we're not getting item locked this turn, and we can dig for a Judge. We'll be able to play out. Probably we can play the Genesect down too. So that means that we could play out 3 of our cards. So we're drawing at least 3. I can't use the Rope Boss because that's my last switch and my last boss. Escape Rope. I guess you're just getting the other Mew, right? Because I don't believe that you don't have a fourth Pokemon. So 3, 8, 9, yeah. Core Seal Stone, attached to the Luminion. That's good. And what did they get? Cross Switchers. Ooh, spooky. Wow. Okay, so they got the Melanie Rope Cross Switchers to get a knockout on my Mew with the Choice Belt attached. So in that case, I need to dig for Tablet, or yeah, dig for Tablet and Judge is what we're looking for. Man, the cape, that makes it tougher. All right, so 250, so 190, 220, 250. I need 2 tablets, but we can do that. We have 4 Genesects. That's a really bad card. Don't want to draw that. Yep, let's rip the Judge. And then we have 3 more Genesects. We are definitely getting rid of this, but are we getting rid of the Path too? Path would stop a second fish. I think I mean, let's Rotom Phone first, I guess, right? That's what we need. Great. Let's just draw, because we have a couple outs. So okay, that clearly is not gonna happen. So we still have a Cyllene. We can drop the Mew. Get rid of that. Draw a couple more. There's the Tablet and a Lost City. Does the Lost City matter? Do they play a stadium? I guess the Lost City is kind of fun. We can do that. Okay, so 190, 220. So we traded 2 for 2. 2 double turbo off the prizes. That's crazy. So we have the attack next turn guaranteed. We have 2 prizes on the Luminion if we want it. If we don't want it, we can just take whatever's active. Just getting a net. So I'm feeling pretty good about this, because they would be very hard pressed to get another 2 prizes this turn. If they manage to somehow like double cross switcher another Genesect, then I think I would be in a lot of trouble. But as of right now, not too concerned about it. But let's see. So they are definitely going for a Melanie somewhere. And it looks like they're just stuck. It might just be a pass, honestly. And if that's the case, I think we just are rolling through. Have no issues from here on out. I do need to save a double turbo if they try and Vika stall. Oh my god. The Drapion in hand with the scoop up net. That's ridiculous. Okay. Well, they're getting 3 cards. I want to Cyllene this turn, maybe. That's my last switch out. I think it's better because, yeah, I don't know if this deck plays recovery plus enough to actually get out of the recovery, so I'm gonna say that this is better. Because what are they gonna do? They're gonna Paralyzing Bolt. And then I pass, probably. Drawing all my paths right in a row was not helpful. Turns out that I should have pathed instead of Lost City to prevent the Drapion, but I wasn't thinking about Drapion in this deck. But I think it's definitely a tough matchup for them without Drapion, because only so much you can do doing 50 a turn. Like, you have to just aggressively cross switch or Genesect, and sometimes that doesn't happen because you're not a super deck. So I think we're still okay. They're gonna Paralyzing Bolt this turn, but they're under path, and all I need to do is, I guess if I could, no, Oricorio would be bad. Well, I just need to hope they don't have Boss and 2 energy over the next 2 turns. Oh, and they have a Judge of their own. That feels like a bad card in this deck. I'm not sure what the idea is there. Maybe they... maybe it's for Lost Box? I don't know. Let's see what they get off the second tail. Quick Ball, that's not helpful. That's good for us. Let's see, what are we down? We're down 1 Boss, 1 Judge, 1 Lost City, 2 energy. So I have 1 more energy, that's it. Oh, fantastic. Wow, look at that. Let's... Ultra Ball? Yeah, I think we Ultra Ball those, and then just attach the stone. I don't want to put that down, so I'm just judging and hoping for a better hand. Like droplets. God, I don't know. I think honestly it's the same plan as before, and they just, I guess we cram first. Like the Lost City, the Cyllene. No, it's got to be Lost City. Yeah, just to break the lock next turn, give us something to do. And pass. And so next turn I'm looking for Boss. I guess I could have gotten the Boss. I didn't realize I couldn't attack that turn. I thought I was taking a knockout on this Mew. Otherwise I probably would have gotten Boss. Because what are the odds that they have their second Judge in hand? Probably not super high. So switch cart, net. Drawing lots of cards. We love Mysterious Tail Mew. I mean, we love Mew in general. I think with, let's see, I'll be able to draw 4 cards if I bench this Choreo and Lost City. I feel okay about this. It's not great. It's definitely not great, but they're doing 60 now. And they're doing 200 next turn. Roxanne is always good if I don't hit the boss. But I do. Well played. All right, so a couple misplays here and there, but we made it to the end of that one. Beat a Vikavolt. Feels good. We're into the finals of our mini tournament. The first two decks, first two games were not very competitive, but let's see what we're up against this time. So it's a water deck, Bucket, Melanie, that's all we need to know. And we have an absolutely busted opening hand. We have the Oricorio double VIP pass. We can attach the Parasol, vacuum something if needed. So we're in a very good spot. We obviously can't get a turn 1 attack, but hopefully we can get a turn 2 attack on whatever their big, or turn 2 knockout rather, on whatever their big attacker is. And it's a Suicune Palkia deck, so I'm definitely looking for Judge and Path to the Peak on this first turn. Let's see, with a full bench, we have 5, 10, 11. So Suicune's doing 220, and Palkia's doing 260, 290 with a Choice Belt. So there's no way that they can ever one-hit KO a VMAX unless they play a Leon, but that would be pretty bold. I guess I can't rule it out, but I know for a fact that this Big Parasol is useless in this matchup. So we are definitely going to start with our VIPs. VIP Gaming, see what we have, and go from there. I would love for them to play a Stadium card in play this turn, because then I can vacuum it and hopefully replace the Stadium with a Path to the Peak on my first turn. Path shuts off their Fleet-Footed, it shuts off their concealed cards, it shuts off their Palkia V-Star as well. Okay, well, we'll start with this. Double Genesect. Okay, I don't see anything really vital prized. We are down 1 Path, 1 Tablet. We have our VMAXs. We're down 1 Mew. Yeah, we're doing okay. All right, and VIP Pass. Let's get 3rd Genesect, 2nd Mew. We can vacuum their air balloon. Do I Escape Rope? I think Escape Rope is fine. I like that. Because Suicune is going to be easier to attack with than the Palkia, inherently. I would really love for this to be a 4th Genesect or another Mew. The Oricorio doesn't do anything. So yeah, this is perfect. I'm just gonna drop that and let's go get ourselves a 4th Genesect and try and really dig for this Path to the Peak. Okay, so we have the Lost City. Oof. I don't love getting rid of all of my Switch cards this early, but we do hit the Path. I think it's important to take the Path this turn, and then maybe we Cyllene. There's nothing to Cyllene for. How many Genesects have I used? Genesect. So I've used 2 Genesects. Yeah, let's go for the Path. And draw 1. Oh god. Maybe we... Okay, let's do this. Tails, and then Cyllene, and try and put some of these switch cards back. Okay, perfect. Ram Rope is fine with me. I prefer the switch or the rope. Because they have Greninja, I'd rather have switch, I think. And then use our last Genesect, draw a couple cards, and end the turn with the Path to the Beak. All right, feeling good. So let's see what they're able to do with their hand. They have no Greninja. They have no Palkia V Star Portal to attach energy. They have no Fleet-footed. But they do have the Pumpkaboo in hand. That's okay though, because Pumpkaboo is a terrible card to have on their bench, really limits what they can do. Still though, they are digging for energy, and it really comes down to what is left in this hand. Melanie. Okay, so they have a Crobat. If they're getting rid of Melanie, that last card must be really good. But it's not a Pokemon, and it's not an energy, so it must be another supporter. I'm guessing that they were holding double Melanie. All right, that's one. Capacious Bucket. So they get the knockout. That's really too bad. They had a tiny hand and so little going on. That's okay. On our turn, we can cram away the switch, play a Lost City, and we are just looking for, I guess, as many Power Tablets as we can, because these two will be very easy to knock out. So if we can get through the V-Star this turn, then we're all set. We need, so we're hitting 190. We need 3 modifiers. Oh, they have a boss. Okay, that's fine. They are using boss's orders to basically thin us of a card, and I am totally cool with that. In fact, I would almost rather they knock out this Mew, because we don't want them to have that boss later on. So this turn, it would be great to hit Judge. Let's see what we have. Oh, we draw the VMAX. That's absolutely beautiful. No. Okay, Lost City and Fusion Strike System. Draw 4. Tablet 1, so that's modifier 1. Let's go get a Mew, and I guess the vacuum doesn't really matter. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outs that we're searching for. Plus a Judge would be great. All right, Fusion Strike for 4. None of those are, well, I guess some of those are what we need. Let's drop that. Hey, we got it. Okay, I'm gonna take the Choice Belt. So we're up at 2, 3. Fusion Strike System. Let's put that on a Genesect. We can go for Judge now. I guess the Lost City at this point doesn't matter. Okay, so let's get rid of those. Fusion Strike System. See if we can hard draw into the Judge, and we can, which is great. Gonna put a Big Charm there and Judge. So now we're putting them down to 4 cards with no attacker in play that can take a hit against this Mew VMAX. And I am very happy just Technoblasting for the knockout. All right, this is some good prizes. A consistency card, especially given that we have so many, well, I guess 3 cards that we don't want to play right away. So the Rotom Phone will be nice for sure. And this turn, we have the boss if we need it, but really we're looking for a double turbo energy to attach to this Mew. Evolve into the VMAX and go from there. Something I am looking for this game is my Pal Pad to bring back Cyllene Judge. Just because we are out of switch cards and we're also down in energy, that's something that I'm just always worried about as a possible lose condition, is running out of switching outs. But let's see what they're up to this turn, because after that Greninja with no other Palkia in play, it does seem like they're in a tough spot. Diancie. Wow. Look at that. So the boss's orders won't work this turn because they're only playing basic Pokemon right now. So I guess I could try and go for the go find like the Pal Pad Cyllene combo, but that just feels like too much this turn. So Forest Stone, just get a second one of those. That's fine. None of these other cards are very helpful. So let's do that. I guess we can burn a tablet. Doesn't really matter. We have 4 prizes on the board here. We don't want the path. Oh, Pal Pad's not in deck. Pal Pad's prized? Did I totally miss something? Oh, Pal Pad's prized. Okay. Well, either way, let's draw some cards. We can get rid of this. We have 2 Judge, 2 Boss, 1 Roxanne. And at this point, no reason to overextend. Let's Cross Fusion Strike and Max Miracle. Take 1 prize, and then we have a knockout next turn on whatever's active, as well as a boss's orders and a second one in deck to close out the game. So this feels pretty wrapped up. Let's see if there is anything funky they can pull out, but given that so many of our outs from of our cards left in deck are just raw supporters, I don't think there's much they can actually do. We have, this is our last energy, so if they boss twice, then we lose. So let's see what this Luminian goes for. Is it a boss stall? If it's not a boss stall, we win the game. If it is a boss stall, then I'm a little worried. No, it's a Melanie. Okay, we're good to go. I don't think there's anything they can do with this Suicune, but this is the power of Mew VMAX. Just allows you to do so much. It feels unstoppable in a lot of ways. I am worried about this Palkia though. I don't like that, so I don't care about this Suicune. They're gonna probably do their damage with Suicune. I'll retreat into the fresh Mew, boss up this Palkia, and take care of that before it evolves, because once it evolves I can't one-shot it anymore. Or do I just take the 2 prizes here and then have 2 boss's orders available? Really, I don't think it matters all that much, but I think the thing that actually guarantees it is just attacking active. So that's what I'm gonna do. And so they're gonna probably evolve into Palkia V-Star. Yep, Subspace Swell, but it doesn't get a knockout. And then we have Double Boss in hand for the game. If they could hit like a Roxanne, and I know this deck doesn't play Path, but a Roxanne Path might be their only hope. Even then, I'm not sure that it would work, because they would need to kill this one and Roxanne and Path this turn. Yeah, so they're just going for the prizes, and that's okay. We have a boss in hand, so that wraps things up. Subspace Swell for knockout. And this was an interesting game. We had to burn through a lot of stuff early on, but we were able to get such a fast start compared to them that it was hard after their first Palkia went down to mount any sort of comeback. They needed that second Palkia in play for sure. But since they've used boss this turn, they can't disrupt our hand. And there it is. That's our tournament win. And Pal Pad last prize. That was fun. 3 good games of setting up. Got some Fusion Strike, or not Fusion Strike, Silver Tempest packs. Awesome. That was fun.